I got a new wing. I'm out here, got a little bit of a headwind, should be awesome. And I have a new wing. New wings are the coolest thing, because like, it would be wrong. It'd just be inaccurate to say that I'm tired of paramotoring. That's not true. I live for this. It's my favorite thing in the world. But there is an element of, I've done that before sometimes. But you get a new wing, and all of a sudden there's new stuff. So, let me show you. This is an Ozone Freeride. It's the same wing Tucker flies, actually. Mine is a 19 meter, his is a 16 meter. You know, some people say I'm 20% better at gravity than Tucker got. Some people say I'm 20% more man than Tucker got. Phrase it how you will, but I fly a 19, he flies a 16. This, the lines at the top are unsheathed. It's a thing they do on high performance wings. They unsheathe the lines. In this case, the bottom are sheathed. The difference is, let me see if I can find where they join. Do you see how this has this like outer coating? It makes them knot up a little less and absorb a little more abuse. And this is thinner, so there's less wind resistance. Personally, I like sheath lines. The performance difference is not that important to me, but not tangling and sort of just working and doing what I ask them to is super important. The cells. Probably to a lot of you this doesn't matter, but these cells, to my eyes, are crazy small, and it has this big shark nose. So this wing is designed to be fast and efficient and have a lot of energy. My flying style lately has been gravitating towards like safer wings with big cells that catch air and reinflate, so I can do like more dangerous things on a safer wing. This kind of wing, like, you know, wing overs, loops, sats, and like, you know, the basics, but you wouldn't want to do like dynamic full stalls on it, or maybe someday dynamic sats. We'll see, play it by ear, not today. Because like this wing's not built to keep you safe. I've heard it described as it's constantly trying to kill you, right? This is an advanced pilot's wing. I think actually, I'm talking too long, I think actually the story behind this wing is an intermediate pilot bought it, wasn't having success with it, so he switched to a Sirocco, which was a better fit for his skill level, and then this barely used 19 meter Freeride became available, so I have it on like a long-term demo, which I just love. I'll long-term demo the heck out of your wing and give it back dead. So, so that's where I are. That's where I am. Let's try it. Okie dokie. Pull start. Do you love me or do you hate me? Oh, that was close. Ah, fuck. What is wrong with you? Oh, fuck. Oh, Jesus. Really? Fucking. Let's prime it again. Fuck you. Kinda.
Future Woody here. I still find pull start to be absolutely dreadful. This footage is probably 10 days old or something, and I've flown it almost every day. I'm getting better. In this video, I think if I had just primed it, even if I hadn't touched the carburetor little bulb, it would have started faster. But my God, I'm actually dealing with a shoulder injury. It's so hard to pull when it's cold that it actually rides up my back and pulls off my back. When it's warm, it's not like that. From a seated position while flying, I can pull it pretty easily and get good tugs on it. But on the ground like this, it's a flippin' nightmare. And I think I'm going to build a stand so I can safely warm it up instead of just on my back or in a rack. That's the rule. And God, it's hard. It's hard. It starts like shit. I've played with the mix on the low end. I've made it richer. I don't know. I've got about 26, 30 hours on this thing, something like that. And I just don't have the knack for getting it started without it sucking. That's pull start life for me so far. It's my realistic experience. So, there's another paramotor pilot out there named Super Del. He's pretty well known, so if you're in the paramotor world, you've probably heard of him. He's crazy, but he's also crazy experienced and crazy talented. He often unfairly rails against other wings that he doesn't sell as being uncertified death traps. And the truth is, wings like the Speedster 2, the Spider, the Roadster 3, and the Swift 4, most of the wings that I fly, they are certified. Not only are they certified, they're certified by a more current and a better standard than the one that the Dominator is certified. Having said that, when he talks about uncertified death traps, like this wing, that would be on target. I've heard this wing described, I might have said this already, as always trying to kill you. And, that's just what you know. This is my fair weather wing. When it's nice out, and I want to go fast and do things, and this is a good wing for that. You want to see my first wing overs on a free ride? You're about to. Oh, let me point the camera up a little so you can see. Trying to take it easy a little bit. I know that this wing is super ground hard. I have another wing I fly, the Swift, where I can do like 20 wing overs in the space that this would do maybe 7. Oops. First wing overs, cut me some slack. Let's get some more weight shift in this baby. We'll have to cut her down soon, because like I said, she's a little ground hungry. There we go. Future Woody here, wasn't happy with the audio. With the Progress, which is an agile wing, not as agile as the Freeride, but still agile, I probably pull 12 inches to do what the Freeride would do in 6 inches. But it takes like 6 pounds of force, whereas the Freeride gives a lot more resistance. And I'll say 12 pounds of force. So with this, I pull 6 inches, but 12 pounds. The other, I pull 12 inches, but 6 pounds. Just something noteworthy. You don't have to move the you don't have to move the brakes very much to get them to react in a really dramatic way. Future Woody here. So I was making this part of the video, and I had to do it with the throttle up a little bit to illustrate my point. And I'm just reviewing it like, man, I wouldn't watch this. The engine noise is overwhelming and it's annoying. So I'm going to do a voiceover and explain some of the same things I was explaining in real time. When I first started, I used to ask people, what would happen if I flew an advanced wing, right? I'm not an advanced pilot at this point. What would happen if I flew an advanced wing? And there are a couple things that I illustrate on the video here. One are these brakes. If you look at it, you can see they're 2D brakes. There's 2 lines that come from them. One goes to the very tip, the one with the little balls on it and that rubber piece. and it makes it kind of yaw like a flat turn. And the other goes to the entire side of the wing, and it makes it bank. And you can see me kind of pulling it sideways and straight and doing the different things that you can do with 2D steering. If you're a brand new pilot, that's just another complexity that you would have to adjust to. The other thing I'm showing here, this is me like hands off. The wing is doing this on its own. It oscillates. This is a characteristic of a lot of the more agile wings. It kind of seems like you almost need to choose. You can have a basic wing that wants to be stable all the time and levels you out, or you can have a really agile wing that does this. Now, this wing only does it when I add throttle, right? If I let go of the throttle, it'll all stable out and relax. I've flown other wings where it does it all the time, throttle or not. And if you know how to fix it, here it is. I just fixed it in 1 second. It's not that big of a deal. But when you're choosing your wing, you ask yourself, am I ready to deal with oscillations? If you are, then maybe you're ready for a really agile wing that does cool stuff. Maybe you're not. I don't know. But that's on you. But I'm just demonstrating that this wing oscillates under climb throttle. And that's a characteristic I found pretty common across more agile wings.
I went a little extra high. I think it's time to sat the new wing. You guys want to sat it? You know you do. I'm a little bit nervous. I guess I'm always nervous when I sat a different wing for the first time. Let that go. But I don't want to turn the motor off because it was so hard to start. So here we are. Oh, I'm just going to steer away from the houses for a second. I don't want to fly over houses. All right, let's get some weight shift. All right. I went into I just wasn't happy with the way that was going. It was a little round spirally. I'm gonna get some altitude. Try it again with the motor off probably. I think you guys missed my sat. I don't know. I'm gonna do another one just so it's on camera. It worked really well. Let's try it again. You wanna watch me pull start this thing?
Man, you guys missed the end of my flight. I'm pretty bummed about it because it was interesting. First off, I think the camera died before I did that sat to the left, but it worked out really well. I loosened my chest straps. I set the trimmers to full slow. The chest straps so I could get in that sat position a little better. It worked out great, but that's not even the interesting part. Here's the scoop. That first launch, the one you guys saw, to me that was like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Like below expectations, but because it had that helpful headwind, like that's way below expectations. I should be nailing launches if they're into like a 6-mile-an-hour wind like that. So after I landed, I launched again. And that really sucked. The way my yard is in that part is I launch with a little downhill and then I start going up. And as I was going up, I was like full throttle, bended knees, practically dragging. Like if you've ever seen a really new pilot just hit full throttle and hope that it saves them, I wasn't far from that. It was like a 3 out of 10. So I was like, well, this sucks. I can't leave on that. So looking at the wind again, there was a hard, let's call it nil wind or 1 or 2 miles an hour. It's where you look at the windsock and it's just pointed straight down. So I set up in a different part of the yard, and that part was just straight uphill. My yard is high in the middle, so anytime you set up near the edges, it's uphill. So it's an uphill, no-wind launch, but I've got a little room. So I'm like, I'm just going to taxi, control this thing, throttle up, and hit it. And I nailed it. I was really happy about that, and I'm glad I did 3 flights today instead of just 1. And, I don't know. I hit a nil wind uphill launch on a Freeride 19, and that's more in line with like expectations. So I feel good about that. And I feel good about practicing, and I feel like I should do it some more. Landings, on the other hand, were great. I don't know what it is with that Freeride, but I feel like I could land on a Frisbee every time. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but a parking spot. I could land on a parking spot every time. And that's pretty cool. So it was easy just to, spot land, set up for my next launch, and hit it again. And it worked. So, yeah, did little drills on launching, because the Freeride 19, like the challenge I'm having is how fast you have to run to launch it. So I launched it at full slow trims, and I think that was part of what helped me too. But there it is. Oh, and then each flight I did some more wing overs, and my goodness, barrel rolls are super easy. Wing overs are just getting big without it's. Yeah, some wings do make wing overs easy. Now, if you're new, it makes it easy to get yourself over your head, but I could see why people choose this wing because it's a blast. Like I'm happy to have it. So thanks for that. Oh, and one last thing. I'm using that strobe from Aviator PPG. I want to mention I got it for free. I'm trying to be honest about all those deals. But I was using it tonight as the sun was setting and after it set, and I'm really happy with it. Like I don't know when the last time I charged it was because it just seems to always work, and it turns on when I press the button and it turns off when I press it twice, and it's really bright and it mounts easily. So yeah, I mean, that's all I'm really looking for in a strobe. So I'm pretty happy with that. I thought I mentioned to you guys. I think they're only available through Aviator PPG. I think, yeah, but they're on their website. I'm really happy with that strobe. It's called the North Star. So I thought I'd throw that out there. I don't get anything if you buy it. I'm just sharing information.
Our set, it's going well. Trying to get that'll make it late. There we go. Now we're in our home court. So I wanted to talk about this wing a little bit. I figured out the phrasing I'm looking for. See, these class of wing, the slalom wing, that is like the Freeride, the Viper, the Car, etc. It makes wing overs easier. And for that matter, it makes foot dragging easier too. But everything happens so much faster, it makes the consequences higher.
All right, a little bit of footage of my friend doing wing overs. Sorry, action cameras and distance. But I wanted to talk about the Freeride one last time as sort of a wrap-up. I have maybe 6 hours on it now, so I'm getting a vibe for it. And I'm super glad that I have it. Like, I'm really excited about it. I look at my garage and I'm like, I can't believe I have this. Like, it's among my favorite wings right now. It's fast and it's agile. Now, I feel like this whole video, I just stretched the whole danger, danger, danger thing. And there's some truth to that. Like, you have to be ready for this wing. But if you are ready for the wing, then man, oh man, is it a good time? The wing is fast, so it shrinks my whole flying area and makes it easier to go places or catch things that I wouldn't otherwise do. The wing it seems pretty stable so far. I haven't tested it in bad weather. And foot dragging, man, that's a whole new experience too. When I have a wing without a lot of energy and I foot drag it, it's all real sketchy. Like if I find myself a little too close, I can use the bottom of my feet to kind of hold myself up, but I might be running it out. I don't know. Without a lot of energy, you don't have as much flare authority to pop yourself up if you want to. The Freeride makes it so easy. Like you just pull those brakes, you can gain 8 feet anytime you want to, and that makes foot dragging super easy. It's faster, so the consequences are higher if you mess it up, just like wing overs and loops and barrel rolls and such, but it's easier too. The thing makes everything easier and a little bit sketchier. And if you're ready for it, get some.
All right. So I had a pilot ask me how I kill wing overs without surging forward. I thought I'd make a little video. I'm going to start with a sat because I did a left sat yesterday and I like to wear the wing out evenly. Motor will probably die when I do this, but don't worry about that. All right, got the sat going. Exit the sat. Motor didn't die, which is nice. Alright, so now we got some wing overs cooking. Get these nice and big. Alright, getting upside down. Let's do wing shift like you're supposed to. Alright, and then when I want to kill the wing over, I like it kind of wide, like 90 degrees, and pull both brakes. And that's how I exit without a surge on target. So if that makes any sense, put these brakes in the magnets. The key to it is you've got wing overs that are kind of, going up and down, and then the last one goes wide. So instead of going vertical, you just kind of go 90 degrees. And when I'm 90 degrees, I can pull both brakes, and it just burns a ton of energy. And there it is. When I first started doing wing overs, I didn't have a hard time making them big. As a matter of fact, I had a hard time to stop the escalation. They would just get bigger and bigger, and then I'd spiral out to sort of save my bacon. But to reduce them, that was a challenge for me. I would just, it would sometimes take me like 7 wing overs of slightly reducing intensity. But over time, I've done it like, I don't know how many wing overs I've done, but I've done a bunch. Over time, I learned that it's really that like sideways turn. I'm gonna do like a baby one here, where you're 90 degrees like this, that I can burn some energy. So I hope that helps you.